let's get started. So just to let you know, what we're going to do is we're going to make this turkey, and we're going to make this turkey into shapes. So person, or in this case, a turkey. So our plan is to break down this image, okay? So make sure you have your pencils and your all your um, all your material ready and your ink. What were your Sharpie, I should say. All right, so what I'm gonna do, the basic shapes are pretty simple. What we're gonna do is just make a very simple curve right here. That shouldn't take you more than a few seconds. So this is my curve. All right, just to start off the illustration. All right, I think everybody can do that. All right. And so the next step is we're going to make a circle within a circle. Okay. And also you want to keep your pencils very light. And also do not worry if it's not a perfect circle. I did these images digitally, so I have a lot of different manipulation. Um, as you can see, this isn't perfect at all, and that's totally okay. I mean, we're just having fun. And then so you want to start drawing the head of the turkey. Also, I'm gonna again make my turkey a little bit different than the one I drew just for fun. And also, I find when I draw traditionally, I have a little bit less control than when I do it digitally because you can just manipulate the image and change it. So it's not going to be perfect, but you know what? This is just for fun, and this is just an exercise. All right, I'll give you a few seconds for that. All right. Okay. The primary amount of time that we're going to be working on our turkey is in the inking stage, the penciling stage, and the coloring stage. Okay. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to let me know, or you could leave a comment on the bottom of the YouTube page if you're watching it on the YouTube page. All right. So the next step is to draw a circle within a circle to kind of, and you'll see the purpose of all this, and then to kind of draw the neck. So it's kind of like a very basic curve. You don't have to make it that curvy if you don't want, but we're just having fun. All right. So I'll give you a few seconds for that. And it does not have to be perfect. And also try to keep your pencils very light. So you can do this, so you can erase. So it's easy to erase. Um, you so primarily what we're doing is we're putting all the details in the inking stage. So we don't have to worry right now. This is just kind of a guideline of what we're doing. And this is a pretty simple turkey. So I think this is going to go fairly quickly. And again, just have fun with it. Um, so don't worry. And then the next step is we're just going to draw the line. So when you're drawing a like face or anything like that, sometimes it's good to add these guidelines onto the face to kind of know where your eyes are going to go, where, you know, certain features of the face are going to go. It's just a little bit easier, especially if you don't feel comfortable drawing, which is totally fine. So that should only take you a few seconds. Yeah, this initial planning is going to be a lot quicker than if we were normally drawing like an entire face. But there's going to be plenty of details to draw later that will take a good amount of time. Um, and so here, I'll give you more than a few seconds, but we're almost already ready for the penciling stage. So just draw like basically where your eye's going to go. Try to make yours. You don't have to, but try to make yours kind of a friendly turkey. I don't know why, but turkey's kind of like an actual realistic turkey. Kind of looks a little creepy if you look close to their face. So, um, so I try to make them as friendly as possible without too cartoony. Because if you make them more realistic, it's gonna look kind of creepy. It kind of reminds me of a vulture head a little bit. All right, so I'll give you about a minute to do that, and then we're already ready to do some of the pencils. And then so in the next stage, what we're gonna do is just add a little bit more detail. And also, don't worry if it doesn't look perfect. Like as you see, I'm trying to make mine very light and just trying to have fun with it, so it doesn't. So don't worry exactly how it looks. Okay, so this is how light your pencil should be, but I'm just having the darker version so you can see it on the camera. Um, so on, so this is your guideline. What I want you to do is just loosely start adding details to your image. I will give you about 5, 7 minutes, about that amount of time to work on it. Um, Also, if you don't have enough time with the pencils or the inking stage, that's okay. What we're gonna do is you can, this will be recorded online, so you can come back and watch it and pause it and work on it in your own your own pace. So don't worry about that. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just pause it. I'm just gonna get a quick drink before working on it, but continue working. Okay. So, um, just start having fun and just start penciling it. Just really basic penciling. Don't worry if it doesn't look perfect. It's just a guideline of what you're going to be doing later. So you could even start cleaning it up a little bit, but make sure it's very light so you can actually erase everything. And then what we're going to do is ink on top of it with your Sharpie or any type. You could even use a ballpoint pen, and then let it sit there for at least a minute before you start erasing things. That's in the inking stage. We're not there yet. So just take your time. And again, it doesn't have to look perfect. It's just a think of it more as a drawing exercise. Not it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. It doesn't have to be exactly a finished drawing. Lorraine, could you please just mute the mic for a second?
Yep, sure. Go, Ryan just needs a little drink of water. Oh, good, Orion.
I think so.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. So we all have allergies right now. And if any of you need Orion to either go quicker or slower, just let me know in the chat box.
All right, I think I got my voice back. Sorry about that. Um, all right, so uh, feel free to continue working. Again, you don't want to put too much detail on this stage. All right, so mine looks a little different. Maybe I don't want it as curvy right here. Okay, well, it's fine. So this is my final ink drawing of the turkey. I'm gonna get my inking material out. Again, what we're gonna do is, as you're inking the turkey, you you know, take your time doing it, and then once you're done, just let it sit there for a little bit, and then erase the pencils. Okay, I'm gonna get my material out. All right. Also, what I use sometimes are these microns. So if you, I think they're at any like AC Moore or Michaels. I don't know if AC Moore exists anymore actually, but you can easily find these. Also, please feel free just to use a normal Sharpie or larger Sharpie. All right, so I'm just going to go into like the details. So I like starting with the eyes for some reason. Well, let me use a little micron actually.
The turkey looks a little sarcastic, Orion.
A little bit.
I love it.
It can be silly, so that's always fun. There.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how the inking gives it so much more definition.
Yeah. And again, if you have any questions, just please let us know. And also, what you might want to do is kind of start thinking about a light source. So I kind of have the shadows on this side, so the light, it's as if the light's coming over here. And again, it doesn't need to look exactly like this turkey.
Orion, someone's asking if you have any tips to make the feathers on the chest.
Um, I mean, you can use, you mean what type of material, or just, I mean, I just kind of think of it as
Not a type of
scales.
material, but
Yeah, I just
to make
think
them
of,
look like.
yeah, yeah. I just think of it as scales almost, but they're feathers. Um, So that's a good way. And then kind of think of it in so like when you're drawing something on a page, you try to think of it as 3D. So a good way to do that is to draw everything in a curve. So see like how I drew here, it kind of curving, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I think it does. So hopefully that can help you. So see right here, it's kind of in a curve. So I'm going to start just filling in the shadows here. So I'm going to give you plenty of time to work on this. I think about 5 we'll switch to coloring. And I don't think I'm going to completely finish coloring. So I'm going to show you how to do, I'm just going to play around with color pencils or watercolor. Uh, or if you guys have any crayons, you could use that. And then for about the last 15 minutes, I'm going to start coloring on my iPad. So if you guys are interested, you could follow along with that. I mean, so this is just, we're just kind of experimenting here. And again, if you don't want to just fill it in with a Sharpie, you can either crosshatch or stipple for your shadows. So feel free to experiment there. I'm going to start outlining the feathers over here. Might go back and add some more detail. I think what I'm going to do is just kind of experiment with the shadows here. So if it doesn't work, it's fine. We're just having fun with this. Also, if you finish your turkeys, please feel free to tag the Loudoun County, Loudoun County Library, or feel free to tag me and show me your turkeys. That would be cool. See what you guys are doing. I don't know if I want to go overboard with these little lines because I don't want it to end up looking like hair. So I want to keep it kind of where the shadows are so it doesn't get confusing. So in about 11 minutes, we'll just start playing around with the colors. And also, you don't have to put that much detail on this. I'm just doing it for fun. Um, if you want yours to be more cartoony, you don't have to do this. So we'll switch over to coloring in about 6 minutes. So about 3 more minutes. So I hope everyone's having as much fun as I am with this. A cool idea is to give this drawing to maybe somebody on Thanksgiving as a little present. That would be cool. Um, so you can kind of see that I went really overboard with the feathers in comparison to the original drawing. Um, I I personally like drawing a lot of detail, so that's kind of I just think it kind of gives more definition and kind of it's just more fun for me. Um, so you can kind of see all these little feathers. And if anyone has any more questions, please feel free to let me know. And Or if you're watching on the YouTube video, please just leave a comment below. So about a minute more. I don't know if I'm gonna 100% finish this drawing, but it's okay. This was the longest part of the whole illustration. Yeah.
Meditative though, isn't it, Orion?
Yeah, you can kind of just relax and not have to worry about exactly how it looks. All right, so what I want you to do is let that sit for about a minute and then erase the pencils that are underneath. If you're still not done, that's okay. If you're watching on the YouTube video, just pause it and continue working. Or if you're participating, just, continue inking and you can just see how I color. So uh, I colored this digitally, so I had a little bit more of the advantage. I'm just gonna do some stuff traditionally for about 15 minutes. Let's see. Let's look for. So I'm just gonna grab some color pencils. You don't have to make it look like a real live turkey. So if you just want to have fun and do crazy colors, that's cool too. All right. I'm just so basically what you want to do, regardless of what colors you choose, is understand that there's a light source. So do you see in this drawing here that there's light right here coming down and it's a little bit darker over here? Let me see if I can put it closer to the camera so you can see what I'm talking about. Um, that's just what you need to keep in mind. So I'm just gonna play around and then in about 7 minutes, I'm going to just play around with the watercolors. And again, feel free to use whatever colors you want, whatever material you want. It's totally up to you. So it kind of feels like a coloring book a little bit. There's some variation of the brown colors. Yeah. Lorraine, can you pause it for a moment? I mean, just
Yep, hold on.
all right. If you want to start, just continue coloring pencils, that's great. So you can kind of see that I was kind of making a light source right here. I don't know if the camera can really see it. I'm going to start playing around with watercolors right now. So I just have a general watercoloring set. So just have fun and play around with it. Bring this a little bit closer to me. So we'll do this about 7 minutes. That's a cool brown. If you're trying to do this on normal computer paper, it's definitely gonna buckle. So don't worry if it doesn't look perfect. Looks a little muddled, but it's okay. We're just playing around with it. So feel free if you don't want to try out the colors, that's okay. Yeah. See, like right here it looks a little darker, but right here it looks better. And don't worry if it doesn't look perfect here. We're just kind of playing around with it. So on the camera, it looks a little muddled. In person, it doesn't look as muddled, but again, just having fun. Again, if you don't want to use the brown color, you don't have to. You can experiment and try different colors too. And we're not going to actually finish this coloring. We're going to move on to digitally coloring the turkey for fun. So, Lorraine, in about 2 minutes, we're going to switch to the iPad.
Sure, just let me know.
Okay, thank you. So, it looks a little bit muddled, but you kind of get the idea what I'm going for. Yeah, the camera, you can't really see it as well. It's okay. We're just having fun. All right. Ready. I think we're gonna switch to the iPad. So this is my final coloring, but we're just gonna try something else. Here's my background. I just made this, but we're just gonna fool around and start coloring. When I'm coloring digitally, I just use a basic wash color, but feel free to use whatever you want. And again, what we're trying to do is create a light source. Let's see, I want it kind of more of a brown color. So we're just playing around here, just trying to make a light source. So normally when you're coloring comic books, you basically have these. If you're coloring it traditionally, how comic books are colored, you have a basic flat color that you apply, and then you render on top of that. For this, we're just doing more of a brush, just to make it a little bit easier and quicker. So we'll do this about for 15 minutes, but if you're working on the colored pencil version or the watercolor version, please feel free to continue with that. So I'm going to apply a little bit lighter color to the highlights. The program that I'm using is called Clip Studio Paint. That's the one I primarily use, but you could use any program that you have available. A lot of people use Photoshop. You could do that. I think Photoshop is on the iPad, but I would recommend using this program called Adobe Fresco, I think. Maybe I'm mispronouncing it, over the Photoshop iPad. There's a lot more brushes you can download. It's a little bit easier. The Photoshop on the iPad, I think, is excuse me, is really more of for photos. Okay, I'm gonna get like more of a darker color. And do you see how it kind of blends in there with the previous color? It's kind of cool.
It's really neat, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to do an even darker color. And then I'm going to introduce other colors as well, not just brown. I just kind of want to demonstrate what the light source is. So I don't think we'll have time to finish the entire drawing. But feel free to continue drawing your own drawings at this point. Actually, what I'm going to do is emphasize the light source. I'm going to fool around and maybe add a purple somewhere. So it's kind of like a backlit kind of light, trying to create, just trying to blend it in. So I'm gonna start adding little details here. And do you see how it kind of blends in with the other colors? That's kind of what you want.